Ukrainian air forces have struck with a Su-27 fighter jet a Russian position in occupied territories of eastern Luhansk region. The strike was delivered with Western-supplied bombs in the area where drone operators, drones and manpower of the Russian army were stationed. Video published in a Ukrainian Telegram channel shows the moment of the strike in the facility, followed by thick smoke rising over the area after the explosion. It should be noted that Ukrainian aviation has scaled up strikes on Russian army positions in the occupied territories, as well as in the border regions of Russia. As a result of the strikes with Western-made aerial bombs, a significant number of personnel and military equipment of the occupying Russian army have been destroyed.
With Donald Trump finally admitting that Russia harbors ambitions beyond Ukraine, Estonia's defense ministry is bracing for what comes next, as military confrontation with Russia appears increasingly inevitable. At the recent NATO meeting in The Hague, after speaking with Zelensky, Trump openly stated that Putin's territorial goals stretch far beyond Ukraine. Euromaidan Press media outlet says, "These revelations expose Moscow's intent to destabilize its neighbors, with Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania emerging as primary targets due to their geographical vulnerability. Estonia's 183-mile border with Russia, especially near Narva, is well within reach of Russian artillery. NATO's Article 5, which mandates collective defense, faces a critical test as Russia escalates its rhetoric. Still, Moscow appears keen to avoid triggering it directly, instead opting for provocative actions masked as defensive responses. Estonia's defense minister, Hanno Pevkur, confirmed that Estonia is prepared to host F-35 multi-role stealth fighters as part of NATO's Baltic air policing mission. Euromaidan Press says, "These aircraft serve both as a deterrent and as protection for NATO airspace. Despite the F-35 not being assigned nuclear missions in Estonia, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov called it an immediate threat, framing the deployment as reckless escalation." This narrative is being amplified by Russian media, which paints NATO as the aggressor, despite having its own nuclear forces already stationed within rapid striking distance of NATO's border, 15 to 20 minutes. No nuclear warheads are stored in Estonia, unlike some NATO sites in Germany or Turkey, underscoring that the deployment is strategic rather than escalatory. Nonetheless, Russia's messaging hints at pretext building for future military action. Estonia, along with Latvia, Lithuania, Poland and Finland, is fortifying the 3,450-kilometer border with Russia and Belarus, creating a modern Iron Curtain, Euromaidan Press says. This new Iron Curtain, supplemented by anti-personnel mines after these nations left the Ottawa Treaty banning them, aims to deter Russia by making any confrontation on the ground lengthy enough for NATO's larger militaries to arrive and help. Estonia alone has invested €5.2 million in defences near Narva, including 32 bunkers, anti-tank barriers and 12 ammunition depots. The dense forests and Lake Peipus add natural obstacles along the rest of the border. In June 2025, Estonia's Storm 25 exercises involved 6,000 Estonian troops and over 10,000 NATO allies, simulating defense operations against Russian advances. Euromaidan Press says Lithuania's defense budget is set to reach 5.5% of GDP, signaling regional urgency. While Estonia's actions are defensive, Moscow's portrayal of them as provocations raises risks of escalation. The Baltic frontier is increasingly fortified and the stakes are high. Estonia's defense is on the line, and Moscow is watching.
President Donald Trump said Monday the U.S. will have to send more weapons to Ukraine, just days after ordering a pause in critical weapons deliveries to Kyiv. According to Associated Press, the comments by Trump appeared to be an abrupt change in posture after the Pentagon announced last week that it would hold back delivering to Ukraine some air defense missiles, precision-guided artillery and other weapons because of what U.S. officials said were concerns that stockpiles have declined too much. "We have to," Trump said. "They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. We're going to send some more weapons, defensive weapons primarily." The pause had come at a difficult moment for Ukraine, which has faced increasing, and more complex, air barrages from Russia during the more than 3-year-long war. Russian attacks on Ukraine killed at least 11 civilians and injured more than 80 others, including 7 children, officials said Monday. The move last week to abruptly pause shipments of Patriot missiles, precision-guided GMLRS, Hellfire missiles and howitzer rounds and weaponry took Ukrainian officials and other allies by surprise. The Pentagon affirmed late Monday that at Trump's direction, it would resume weapons shipments to Ukraine to ensure the Ukrainians can defend themselves while we work to secure a lasting peace and ensure the killing stops. Still, spokesman Sean Parnell added that its framework for Trump to evaluate military shipments worldwide continues as part of America First defense priorities.
We're trying to help out with a Biden-created monster, this whole thing that's happening with Russia and Ukraine. It's a horrible thing, and I'm not happy with President Putin at all. But this is something that would have never happened if I were president. This was a war that was never going to happen. And if I can stop a war, because I have an ability to do so, I'm disappointed, frankly, that President Putin hasn't stopped. I'm not happy about it either.
Mr. President, are you planning to send more weapons to Ukraine?
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Yeah, defensive weapons primarily, but they're getting hit very hard.